consider, but we'll hold our tongues for now as we look forward to the pistol.
I think this is going to be 100 Thieves once they get into the gun rounds, not really thinking too hard about the operas right now. They are going to be playing more of, you know, full rifles, using a lot of utility. They got a lot of extra utility. NRG straight away on towards B. Camera from Steel should spot this one out. You already see the smokes coming in, and nearby is the rest of 100 Thieves with the aftershock as well.
That actually does force the Spike to have to fade away, taken down very low with Shanks, down to red HP. And so the initial attempt for NRG's quick play through B has been denied. Not penalized as of yet, but Steel is considering that as he was maybe thinking about trying to get behind this play. Ethan, new guy on the block here, seeing what he could do, and it looks like 100 Days will allow this plant to happen at C and try to play for a retake. It's going to have to come through the defensive spawn or through garage, depending on what they're able to find with the Aldrum, which they do get a tag out of one. Ethan for his first official kill here in the VCT, but it is an even 4v4. And now it comes down to Steel. His timing, could it be good? No, not the case. Salmon EU able to find one. And, well, that might be enough. 3v2 situation, still trying to work their way through the dirt cover, will be denied. Ethan, last player left alive, and NRG lock things down, denying the retake, and they win the pistol.
Low HP for EU, but he survives, and Dap drops the tag and on towards Ethan as well. Yeah, here we go. Welcome to VCT, fella. This is what we're talking about. And NRG picking up the early pistol. I'm sure 100 Thieves will respond in kind at some point as we head towards the eventual gun rounds. EU is going to go for an instant Phantom by Android. Just sticking on towards the Sheriff for now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Android is going to look to play a little bit more aggressively this particular round. He's only got no kills and one ult charge after dying early, so slow start for Android so far. It's just the one round, so nothing to write home about. 3 Spectres, 1 Phantom, looking pretty good for NRG. 100 Thieves not going to force anything here. Obviously, we're out of the stinger meta. We're going to walk down C as well.
Yeah, aggression from both sides. C-Long and A-Long have gotten a lot of pressure from 100 Thieves. The initial engagement through C-Long, well, it was an even exchange. Android having to respond to Hiko, who was pushing up over towards the A lobby, will also fall. So an opportunity here for NRG to be up in a 4v3, but you also have to keep in mind that 2 players for 100 Thieves are down to 1 bullet.
Really good from Daps as well, just to keep people interested from 100 Thieves over towards A. In fact, they're so interested. Nitro's going to be rotating over. He was thinking about it, but after 100 Thieves have maybe confirmed that lobby is clear, hearing some footsteps now as well, Nitro's got to say, you got to come over. Daps would potentially come up for a large number of picks. He's got 150 HP. I don't think he should lose this one. He won't. Double kill here. Nitro on 1 HP. He'll get cleaned up, and the NRG should be able to walk away with 4 alive.
Got to admire the creativity from 100 Thieves, though. Double outer pushes coming through both C and A long. Initial success, at least, kind of tempered from 100 Thieves through their push through C. It never really got off the ground, as you see, though, over by A, all 3 members falling pretty quickly. So Nitro on 7 health. He has collected a Spectre. Opportunity for him to try to escape and bring this into round number 3, and that would, I think, be the expectation.
He's trying to save the Spectre. No, going for an exit here. Just looking for timing, you know, timing to see if someone from NRG was going to walk away and not check as they run out, maybe with their knife out or something like that. Nitro isn't going to get lucky. Here's the real round, though. I think now this is going to be what we've been waiting for as an audience. I think it's the expected gun round for 100 Thieves. Okay, they lose the pistol. Doesn't go their way. They're not going to get too much done in the anti-eco. Daps gets a nice cleanup, keeps people interested over towards A, as was said. But the real test is going to be how do 100 Thieves now handle this actual gun round. And it's going to be a tough gun round because look at the buys here. There's actually 3 rifles online for NRG and still money. They got money to buy even after this if they lose. So this is one of the more powerful bonus rounds that we've seen so far.
Yeah, NRG with, remember, EU able to bring in the Phantom and the Vix for round number 2, and Android staying on a Sheriff. A lot of players able to upgrade into those rifles. Nitro, I think he actually missed Hughes on the aftershock. It does get an elimination, but the spike is planted. So NRG's post-plant will start to get set up largely through the B window, but there is 1 player lurking inside the site by the gong. That will be Shanks. EU here with him, and well, Steel finds the timing, but EU clears a different side. Steel trying to toggle for the spike defusal, but Sam on the site, he's done well to find a couple. Last player is Android. Still has a Hot Hands available, has to win the gunfight, finds the first. Hot Hands comes through. Will there be enough damage here for him to find the kill? There will be, but Nitro finds the kill, and there's plenty of time for him to allow this Hot Hands to dissipate and get the defuse.
Massive kill over towards Shanks at the back of side as well, near the gong. A little surprised that NRG actually go for a, close hold in the post plant for B. Usually for the post plant of B, you would kind of just scatter back onto the open. You would be playing for window, you'd be playing for grass here, controlling double doors, spamming through the smoke, planting fairly open onto B as well so that people in the window can see. But a lot of players from NRG actually held very close on site, including the really, I think, big kill on the Shanks who got found out there. And a massive aftershock from Nitro as well onto Daps early on. I thought Daps was maybe going to get out alive. The timing looked like it was going to be in his favor. He only dropped the Spectre, so not the worst death that I think the NRG could have lost there, but enough that the 4v5 ends up being too much for NRG to come back from. And here we go, 100 Thieves will pick up the third round here with the gun round, but at a pretty big cost because they lose 4 people.
Yeah. Shanks has also been able to earn the Bladestorm, so he brings that out immediately for round number 4. You also have the potential of a run it back for Android. On the opposite side, Rolling Thunder could potentially be used to either deny the plant or enable a retake if required. And for NRG, they're really not making a decision as of yet. And you have to keep in mind that Shanks is the one who has the spike in hand. So it's going to come down to really what his play call will be, you feel like, with this Bladestorm still out.
It's double Guardians, by the way, on Hiko and Ethan, so I don't know if that's going to affect their retake ability, and it is going to have to be the Rolling Thunder retake now. Steal by his lonesome over towards A. You got a lot of 100 Thieves leaning heavily onto C. A couple members close by in the garage window as well. And as the sparks start to fly here with the smokes coming out, they know it's for sure going to be over towards A. All the rotations coming on through. Steel just has to stay alive.
He does get a bit of information off the trap wire. Shock darts are going to be there, still trying to deny the plant, but is not going to be able to do much besides just spam shots at the dark cover, in which he actually gets tagged up pretty heavily. So on the way over is Nitro, sitting just outside the B link. There's the Rolling Thunder coming through. Paint shells, blast pack. Here comes the retake very quick, and goodness, the space cleared from Asuna's nasty. Finds himself one elimination. Does he expect the second? Maybe, but EU still finds the kill, but nobody is playing for the defense of the actual planet itself, and 100 Thieves just stick it. Find the easy defuse.
I mean, if they just basically, that's an entire bluff. It's just like, I'm gonna, I got great cards in my hand here. I'm just gonna go for the defuse. And you look at NRG, typically what happens is the first tap in that scenario is probably the fake one. They probably think it's gonna be fake NRG. You're like, there's no way he's actually sticking it. He was. Steel completely just outbrains NRG there. Asuna, by the way, taking a lot of space early. They clear the side, obviously coming through from the Rolling Thunder as well, as you'd expect. And just jumping straight into the spike is something that NRG wasn't prepared for. They didn't think that Steel was going to stick it, and they get punished for it.
Bomb? Ooh, maybe considered for a second, but Asuna is going to use the double blast pack just to make sure he can get right into heaven to deny that stick of the From the Shadows. NRG do read a bit of information off of that, though, and it looks like they will still posture for a plot over towards A.
And A is really empty, but NRG don't know it. They have no intel. They have no idea that it's going to be a free site. You can see the coverage over towards C is heavy. I mean, there's 3 members there. You have camera defensively from Steel. Trap wire over on B as well. Nitro nearby. And a very defensive safe trap. I mean, look at the other trap over onto A link. That's a very unusual trap coming through from Steel. At this point in time, I think both Steel and Nitro are sensing a little bit of danger over towards A. They heard the gunshots, and the rest of the rotations come on through now.
Look, they're the only 2 players that are here, and they're the only 2 players that will be here for some time. And even beyond that, Steel doesn't just get taken down. There was also a significant amount of damage that got into Nitro's body. So he's tagged down low. Boombot will be the first one forward. That will be denied. Information that there are players over towards Hell. The Hot Hands will stall this retake attempt pretty quickly. Oh, now the aftershock comes through, but Asuna, he does get flashed and hit by a recon bolt, but the take is still pretty solid as Asuna will find 2. Now EU trying to hold things up with Shanks, and so far successful. Time becoming a problem. 2v2. Nitro with his second elimination. Dabs responds to the first. Not going to get the second, but time is a problem, and Nitro's going to try to stick this. It'll be close.
No, I'm pretty sure he's got it. He's barely got this one. It will be 100 Thieves for sure. And NRG not going to please with that round. It's a slow start from Android. He fails to take down the recon, and the recon from Hiko gets massive value. Just reveals the entire team. NRG just can't get the counter trades. Android is sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard 3 and 4. He was one of the players revealed by the recon. It instantly take him down. It just hasn't really found value. At Nitro now for more than a few rounds, getting massive value, just the kills coming on through. He's 8 and 2, nearly onto the second Rolling Thunder as well. The rest of 100 Thieves are looking pretty in terms of where their kills and in terms of where the ultimates are as well. And NRG, after another plant, just cannot win in the post plant. These post plants, at least 2 in a row now, have just been really unfortunate to see.
You just think about what the difference of the scoreboard could have been with, talk about 100 Thieves sticking the first defuse, winning a last-second take here, and also denying, like you mentioned, over towards Biasana. Oh my goodness, how has he avoided being seen by anybody from NRG? Gonna go straight to a showstopper, not gonna get the kill on the Android, but a lot of damage will be there. The trade eventually comes into play, but it is NRG who comes overall on top. 3v2 situation to the spike. Should be able to make its way onto C, but hold the phone. They're gonna call for a quick rotate as look who's lurking over by A.
I thought someone was maybe going to stay here just to lurk a little bit further, get a free kill into Nitro. He's checking sight now, knows no one's there. At this point, the rest of 100 Thieves, and when I say the rest, I just mean Hiko. He is the rest of 100 Thieves right now. He's going to have to slowly make his way over towards A. They can't really do anything until both Nitro and Hiko are at least working together. They won't be together in terms of working next to each other, but they'll be able to still contest the site at the same time once Nitro can get his way over through long A. Currently, Hiko is potentially going to reveal his positioning. He's already throwing some utility out, his full utility in terms of Hunter's Fury. Second shot that's going to come on through. Big kill from Nitro, and this is what can give 100 Thieves a leg up.
There are no Cypher trap wires placed on that back flank, so you have to commit someone to watching it if you're NRG, and that is a brilliant punish. But the time could be the biggest opponent here for this retake. Hunter's Fury has been earned. Daps is sneaking his way up the heaven stairs. But will he get timing on this? Out the window goes Hiko. Does he ever expect that a player is now up top in heaven? Apparently not, as Daps finds the kill. Hiko in a really tough position, and he will be scouted out by a recon bolt. Not enough time, like you mentioned, for the defusal. Just hoping for a couple of kills. Not able to find anything there, and NRG able to tie things up 3-3, even though Daps falls after the detonation to coming in.
So Hiko tapping the spike there just guarantees that at least one more player is going to stick around and try and get the kill there, and then Daps will be the one that falls, like you sort of mentioned. And finally, we see a decent post plant coming through from NRG. I think courtesy of Som for the most part as well as the entry going in towards Garage, having the ability to get the counter trades in. Som coming through from C long, wasn't really checked, wasn't prepared for, so Ethan gets taken down from behind, and the rest of 100 Thieves, Nitro and Hiko try to make the play happen, still over towards A with the double entry, one coming through from A long, the other one from Heaven. Nitro with the opening pick was decent, but now we head into round number 7. Not a good buy for 100 Thieves, but they do have ultimates to play with, so if they get some guns, this round is actually doable.
I mean, it's only, I think, 2 ghosts I saw there for a moment. This is already a different full eco from 100 Thieves not getting aggressive. Instead, they're going to full stack over towards middle. They're able to get a nice flashpoint breakthrough for one. Still finds the second. EU desperately trying to hold on. And he's actually going to get fault line for a moment, but he's still able to find their eliminations. But the rifles have been collected, and 100 Thieves, they're all of a sudden in a position where, well, it was a 2v1. EU just, again, scratching and clawing his way, trying to survive, has made things down to a 1v1 situation, but only 34 HP to play with.
And Hiko's got everything here as well. Aside from the 2 shocks, he's got full utility. We'll find guns on the floor as well. Probably looking for something better than a Spectre. There will be something better than a Spectre on the ground once he realizes the entire mid area is clear. At this point, he's got to know it'll be A plant or C plant. He's just waiting for the retake. Now, both players have Hunter's Fury available. And I'm going to say this as well, but EU being on 34 means Hiko only needs 1 shot coming through from the Hunter's Fury to be effective. So this is going to come down to where the knowledge is. How big are the brains on both the Sova players? Early recon's going to come through onto site itself, and you can see how far away EU is going to be playing. The issue here is if EU goes for a Hunter's Fury first and Hiko counters with his own Hunter's Fury and connects, that's the round over.
Toggle the spike. EU not going to play for the Hunter's Fury, but does get shrugged off the angle. Hiko wants to challenge, but now has to reconsider as he'll come over. EU will connect on one and the second. Hiko never was able to pull out the Hunter's Fury. Time may be a consideration, but EU saves the round for NRG with 4 kills. But still, at the end of the day, only buying 2 ghosts, you're probably still smirking a little bit if you're a 100 Thieves fan off that round.
Yeah, I think that's a very successful round 100 Thieves despite losing. I think it comes down to the 1v1, a lot of kills early on. You're looking at how many ultimates are available, 100 Thieves as well, the aggression coming through the main. I think talking point about this 100 Thieves sort of aggression coming through onto B on the grass is the fact that they don't have a jet, usually be a flash and dash, but here it's just like a flash and swing, flash, and then 3 people swing on towards grass and just hope to get as many kills as possible. And they got better than that. They got 4 kills in the final 1v1. Time became a bit of an issue. Ethan spots, I think, a lot of players here, so won't be surprised if they call for a few rotations. Now Ethan will be finally in a position to really see what he's made of here, as well as he's still looking to really make his name on the kill feed happen.
Yeah, plenty of help, though, in the mix as Hiko is here to assist if required. Also, Asuna playing through C Garage would be there. So NRG just try to scout things out, maybe throw out a little bit of utility to see what they can bait. And now they make their move as all 5 members start to crawl their way forward through A. You also need to notice that there are trap wires now potentially guarding this flank for NRG, which is something they missed one of the last times they came this way.
Steel's pretty far up here as well. He's got a cage nearby, so he'll be able to get himself out. Won't cage too early. He doesn't know there's like 3 people there, but they're all flashed out. Android still gets the kill. Rolling Thunder now to stop the rest of NRG from pushing up, and that will slow things down considerably. Ethan on the back lines, by the way. Ethan used from the shadows. He could get a flank going, and the rest of 100 Thieves need to arrive very soon because the plant's going to come in.
The flash play from NRG, successful. Paranoia and the curveball used. Hiko not going to connect off of his first 200's Fury shots. The third one also missing a bit wide. Ethan on the flank has dealt with 1 player, but this is, of course, Android responding as required to make sure that he does not make any further attempts. So 100 Thieves retake will have to largely wait until they find success from the front. Paranoia comes out. Oh, and oh my goodness, Android gets baited by from the shadows. What in the world happened right there? 1-for-1 exchange. Time now again becoming a bit of a problem for 100 Thieves, but they're on the full surround. Sam right on top of the spike site. We'll see 1 player. Shank's able to assist onto Ethan. Last hope comes down to Hiko. He will find the first, but time becoming an issue. And now as he gives up the full defuse. Wait, no, not going to be there. I was going to say, goodness gracious.
Oh my god. That's a heart attack and a half there. I got to say, I think NRG, they're kind of fortunate to win that round because Android, you talk about the From the Shadows, he got baited by his own teammates from the Shadows. That was Som's From the Shadows, not Ethan's. Ethan already used his. Som used From the Shadows, his own teammate from the Shadows, in towards A long. Android, like, just flicks onto it because he's like, what is going on? And at the exact same timing, Ethan crosses with util out, and Android dies to him. So that is super unlucky, but also at the same time, like, what is going on with this NRG squad? If it wasn't for the fact that time runs out there, Hiko had that. I mean, Hiko finding the last kill, didn't have time to defuse, but a huge play regardless, and 100 Thieves keeping every single round close. Now, they are down by 2, but there's been a lot of rebuys here. That's why you look at NRG, despite them winning more rounds, they just don't have money. They're still playing with, you know, broken armor, Stinger on Shanks, not looking the best.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen a truly full-forced, all 10 players bringing rifles into the mix yet. And we're 8 rounds in, going into number 9. NRG, again, just passively playing through the middle of the map, trying to see if they can catch 100 Thieves doing anything cheeky. That will not occur here. And as the spike is collected, it looks like they're going to be trusting the information from Daps. And also EU with his utility to see what exactly is over here at A, which has been, it seems to be their preferred spike site when it comes to their executes.
They've gone there pretty much every single time, and they've gone C a couple times, but kind of just a fake. It wasn't ready to commit. Here we go. Should be, I was going to say a freebie for Shanks, but Asuna gets the double dink, responded by Android onto Steel, but that's at least going to be a free gun for Asuna to be able to rotate on towards A. So possible hero rifle that they can really use in the retake. Not a lot of HP, though. Nitro in the long range with the Bucky not going to be good enough. And here comes a potential kill from Som. We'll just miss a couple more shots, but the plant will come on through regardless, and 100 Thieves don't have the HP.
Paint shells will deal a bit of chip damage, might make life a touch easier. Daps is also going to commit to getting the neural. Watch out for the boom block. Oh, it's going to come off the corner, and Daps will fall. Opportunity still alive for 100 Thieves retake. How do they continue to be allowed to do this? Sam in the corner. He finds one. Not the second, but the trade is there. And these are just getting way too close for comfort if you're an NRG fan, I feel like, even though you're up 6-3.
I mean, how many rounds now? How many rounds for NRG come down to like a final 1v1 there? And even in those 1v1s as well, it's just like, I mean, Hiko has the ability to win them at least in terms of getting the kill. Like, you know, sure, we can talk about time, but it's the kind of problem where NRG can't get an economy going. I mean, just look at the guns again. It's Daps now on a Spectre. Android can't afford armor. You know, every single round with pretty much the whole team dying. Now, actually, 100 Thieves are in a position where they might have more utility here. They might have more to play with here. You don't have full armor on Nitro, but aside from that, it's looking pretty decent.
Same opening that we saw from the initial round for NRG, straightforward. Actually, Shanks misses his first updraft, trying to get on top of this B site, but he still will get here. Trying to clear out over through C-Link. Aftershock again coming into play. Decent damage from 100 Thieves overall. And again, it denies the ability for NRG to plant. So that's 2 straight rounds that we've seen them try to go to B quickly. And they do force out a little bit of utility, but the damage is just so much more beneficial for 100 Thieves overall, including now even the first blood.
And straight back to A we go. NRG's preferred site so far. I mean, they'll default on other parts of the map. Ethan, he hasn't had kills because no one goes C. Here we go. Asuna probably looking for 2. Somehow misses, so that one's an official Rosa ult for sure. Very low HP for a few members of NRG. Shanks will get a kill, and we even up 4 and 4.
A lot of damage still was confirmed on the backhand of that showstopper. 4v3 for 100 Thieves, but NRG do successfully get the plant. Knowing that there's a player up top in Heaven, he's able to find the first, saw him the second, but Ethan's on the way in. Shanks misses the right click, but was able to create a bit of space. Still 2v2, very doable here. Ethan for 1, not gonna get the snap on the EU. Now down to Hiko, no chance there. EU crouches under for his 3rd kill, and NRG again in a last 1v1. Find the W, and they now go up by 4, 7-3.
Chef, I have to start asking the question. I have to start wondering, like, it's good that 100 Thieves are keeping this close in terms of the play numbers, but the score is not close at all in terms of 3-7. In terms of looking at how this half has gone, there's 2 more chances for 100 Thieves to maybe finish out 5-7. At this point in time, does 100 Thieves maybe want to think about putting more presence over towards A? NRG have gone A so many times now that 100 Thieves have to start thinking about, you know, their setup here. Is something's going wrong on A? So they have 3 starting on A now, which is probably, you know, you would say an overcommitment, but at this stage they've lost enough times that they have to do something different. Maybe we'll see Ethan get into a little bit more action, because this time NRG are now moving up to C, and close has not been good enough. 100 Thieves take it down to 1v1, but they haven't won those 1v1s and haven't won the rounds.
And NRG, to be fair, have been trying to keep the 100 Thieves defense honest by throwing the same utility over to C, but this time they'll commit through it. Android curveball coming out, not going to get the timing to peek over towards the 100 T defensive spawn. Watch the long play from Asuda as well. He's going to be making his way around the back. EU would be the first point of contact for him. There's also a trap wire to keep things safe, as NRG will put themselves in a position to set up their post plant safely through C long. Asuda is going to recognize that there are way too many contestants, and he will come over. Sam's going to commit to from the shadows into B. 100 T has still not made their way onto site. Here comes the utility. That will be the play forward, but you've got Sam lurking behind it. Not going to be able to confirm a kill. Maybe a missed opportunity. House enough for 1, steal another. And how about the 3rd for 100 Thieves? They make their way on brilliantly. Nitro to play a little bit of cannon fodder up front. They cleanly retake. Are you oh my goodness.
Time.
Is it going to get there? Sure will. Last second retake, good from 100 Thieves again.
Wow.
Last round before the switch.
You know what would have been really heartbreaking? What would have been extraordinarily heartbreaking is if there wasn't enough time there, because the rest of the retake was looking pretty good. 4 members of 100 Thieves, I believe, on minimal HP. Some, unfortunately, using from the shadows to flank over towards B, not finding a valley. If he even just gets Nitro down, gets something done there, has a bit more presence, forces 100 Thieves to deal with them, that could have been a more doable round for NRG. The fact that it comes down to minimal time difference between Spike Detonation and Spike Defuse means just one extra thing going right in favor of NRG could have been the play. 100 Thieves this time will get a little bit more aggressive over towards C long. Asuna will be checking over towards A long as well. Ethan has cleared C. That's going to allow Steel now to rotate off, and I think 100 Thieves know it's definitely A.
Yeah, there's a lot of information here, but caught with a flashpoint out is Nitro. Asuna's good for 1, but the trade is immediately there. Hunter's Fury also trying to get into play, and it will find a bit of damage, but no elimination. So after everything's all said and done, it's a 4v3 in favor of NRG. They get the spike planted, but you do have the ability for 100 Thieves to continue to try to play a retake from the flank. Run it back will also be spent. That's instantly denied by Hiko. And Ethan will reconsider his flank play as he rotates right back through middle to join 100 Thieves on this retake attempt from the front. Steel already in. And the shock dart from Hiko finds the kill. Recon Bolt finds absolutely nothing. Through the dark covers we go. Android good for 1, but it's another 2v2. Hunter's Fury going to come out, trying to deny the spike defusal, and it finds elimination. Halfway done. Ethan trying to stick, does not fully hold it. And Shanks will find the kill. NRG will exit the half 8-4. We've got a lot to talk about, but we'll have to wait to do it until after this halftime break. We'll come back with the second half of Haven right after this. The second half, Avril, tons to take away from the first.
Absolutely. I mean, you've just to break down even that last run, a lot happened there. Some, or rather not some, but Ethan using the teleport from the shadows to go over towards long A, then getting cold feet. I actually think he should have stayed there. If he stays long A and prevents EU from getting a free Hunter's Fury, and I think they got a much better chance to win that round. Just being a threat over towards A is very important for 100 Thieves. But because, you know, you have kind of cold feet coming through from Ethan, rejoining Hiko, rejoining the team over towards A main in terms of defense on Link, that kind of gives EU freedom to just do whatever he wants. And, you know, triple tag on the Hunter's Fury is what gives them that round and gives NRG the 8-4 lead after our opening half. And how many rounds did it? Like 3-4 rounds where it came down to 1v1, and 100 Thieves could not collect those. So they got a lot of work to do now in the second half.
Yeah, at least 3 or 4, if not maybe more than that. And I'll say this much, 100 Thieves have been doing an excellent amount of work with Nitro on this breach so far. He's opened up so much space, largely in combination with Steel. Can they find that same success, though, offensively is the real question. They're going to be taking a surround hit over towards A, in which Daps has been allowed to exist up top in heaven. The spy cam will tag one. Long-range shots, though, will force him away. And now you turn your attention over to NRG's flank attempt. Steel here in combination with Hiko. Nice. Beautiful first shot from Hiko. And I think he realizes that no way is this the only player that's in the mix. Wide peak will get information that Android's here. He will find a counter trade, but NRG's defense on the retake from the front, much more successful, and it comes just down to Steel for a 1v4.
Yep, and now Steel just looking for one kill here, misses all the shots, and E will pick that one up for, I believe, his second so far this round. Some got a few as well. Some go for the defuse. So what are we doing? Rushing potentially from the shadows here. I mean, at this point in time, you can be pretty greedy with who you actually want to give the last ult orb to in terms of the actual defuse. Let's take a look at how we are on the scoreboard here. 3-7 for EU, 2-7 for Som. Android got a kill there into Hiko as well. But not a lot of action coming through from 100 Thieves, and I actually potentially think that this could be a round that maybe 100 Thieves have to think about forcing. They don't look like no, they are. Here we go. 100 Thieves have got a force. And the reason for this is because they've just dropped too many rounds here, Shift. So at this point in time, you lose this one. If you don't force here, you give away this to NRG. You go 4-10. It's not comfortable. For you to actually win, I think, this map, 100 Thieves have to force, and they would have to kind of win on this force as well.
All right. So must-win round here in Avril's mind. I would concur that it looks to be the case. You just can't be going on 4-10. offensively on Haven so far. This has been 100 Thieves' historically best side, but again, those stats I think all have an asterisk next to them, considering the fact that you are looking at essentially what is a brand new 100 Thieves with so many role swaps that have come into play just with Ethan joining this roster. You will get Steel trying to continue to put pressure over towards A, just seeing if he can lurk and find any information whatsoever, but NRG have rotated over in numbers to play either around B or most specifically through the C garage.
And I gotta say as well, without Jet here, it's hard to make some fast executes happen. Usually with the Jet, the strategy is to basically smoke and dash. You would put a cloud burst down to side, dash into it, and that gets your initial entry. That makes things very difficult for the defenders once you have to deal with the Jet as well as everyone else coming through. This kind of lineup here coming through for 100 Thieves, despite them only making one roster swap and 2 role swaps, or maybe just the 1 role swap, it feels like a totally different team because with Dicey, you had that Jet pressure. Without Dicey and no Jet, you just don't have that available for your team currently, so it plays like a very different team, which is why 100 Thieves right now super slowly. We're on to site, but there's like about 20 seconds left.
Lots of information off the recon bolt, but Daps is not in a position to take advantage of it. So NRG will have to forfeit and then play the retake. Keep in mind you've got Ethan on a long flank, but will he actually be here in time? Because Shinx is already on the way in. I think he got body blocked by a Steel and recognized his movement was not as smooth as he would normally anticipate. Good trades though for 100 Thieves, and as EU tries to make a play, he gets shut down even before Ethan's full flank is there. So it's actually a Sheriff shot through the wall that confirms the elimination, and 100 Thieves on the force buy will successfully take their 5th round.
Yeah, really important force buy here as well. Let's, really get a cap of what NRG's situation for Eco here as well, because they do lose that very pivotal 2nd round. And that is going to screw their economy at least a little bit going into the 2nd half. Now, 100 Thieves will buy themselves extra time much needed. So I did say for 100 Thieves to really win this map and make a comeback happen, the force buy needed to come through and it needed to work out. So that's happened so far. So not quite sure what NRG's buy is so far this round. I can't imagine it's great. They're stacking heavily on towards A as well, except for Som, who's playing over towards B. Doesn't see anything early on, only has a Sheriff. So definitely not a good buy from NRG at all. 100 Thieves should be able to convert this into a round number 6, and then we head into the gun rounds after that.
Well, could be a point of contact here for Steel, and well, the point of contact would very much so favor NRG with at least the numbers. One on either corner. Daps playing a little bit deeper just in case. Is a shoulder scene? Yes, it is. Steel hoping to get something connect with his Bucky. Curveball, oh boy, he's still alive. Nearly gets a second. If he does, I lose my lid, but the trade will be there, and we'll go 4v4 with 60 seconds to go.
Yeah, lid stays on, and so does the defensive A site so far, plus a Bucky upgrade. Not the best upgrade, but you'll take anything right now. Give that one for a teammate, maybe. The Sheriff is still pretty strong for our Phoenix player of Android here, as 100 Thieves get C for free. They have ultimates available as well. So 2nd time in a row here for Nitro, where he gets a very fast Rolling Thunder. That's massive by Nitro in terms of timing for ultimates, to do that twice in a row in 2 different halves. Probably won't have to use it here. He would only use it if they really start losing control site. Ideally, he'd like to save the Rolling Thunder for the next round, and trying to just hold on to this garage control as well. Ethan will be first contact, sees a leg, probably gets a kill. They have revealed each other's positioning, and Nitro swings.
Oh, but Nitro, can he hold on to this Vandal? He gets the Aftershock out. Will not be a challenge initially for NRG, and now Nitro turns his attention back towards grass. And NRG, of course, giving up on the play for the defuse, just trying to play for maybe an exit kill or 2. Just comes down to the timing of it. And
it's not even exits, though.
Yeah, this is
like
very passive.
They don't have guns. There's nothing to save here, so unless they're trying to save their upgraded weapons.
Whoa!
Oh my god! Okay, hang on a second. Forget that. I'm just going to shut up for a second, because in the final, 2 seconds where the smoke comes down, 100 Thieves are like, there's no way NRG should walk into us. I hear the footsteps, but this is not going to happen. Surely they don't just run at us and suddenly get 3 kills, 3 taps with the Sheriff, and Som's like, yeah, bet, and comes and gets all the guns, and that's actually pretty deadly in terms of economy shift.
This is like an economist's dream. This whole match has been swung back and forth so many times that it's hard to get a full read on who's winning in the economy, because even in rounds like previously we saw in NRG's offense, they had 4 in a row. Still, we're not able to full afford. I mean, this has just been manipulation of pennies at this point, as Shanks is able to afford the first operator of the map. He makes use of it very early on for a first blood. Bucky's going to find a bit of damage onto Asuna as well, and 100 Thieves are caught in a 4v5 situation where largely, yeah, you've got to play maybe to get onto C, and they're actually going to commit the Rolling Thunder to get there, but the spike is not a part of this hit, so it's going to have to still be a little while before 100 Thieves will feel decent about a post plan.
And this is where things are going to get tricky as well. 100 Thieves need to be very considerate of where the rest of NRG are. They've taken so long to plant here, Shift. To the point where they're still stuck on site. Like, this is not a good post plant. Ethan at least gets the initial kill into Android. They're fully stacked on site. Maybe they're just going to stick to this now. Maybe they're just going to stay. Might have to play through the smoke over towards Link and Spawn as well. Paranoia, I believe, catches 2. So let's see if NRG can make it time.
Oh, Daft's able to find 2 eliminations, but now it's just down to Sob 1v1. Ethan! For 3 in the round, cleared out the defender spawn, turned his attention to make sure there was no incredible clutch for NRG, and we get down to a 2-round differential, 9-7, still in favor of NRG.
Here it is. Ethan now showing up top of the scoreboard, 13 and 12. I mean, this is not the type of game. I maybe expected Asuna to be the kind of the top fragger here for the side 100 Thieves, but what an awkward kind of round here. They lose an initial play to Shanks, and I was going to mention as well, by the way, the operator does really punish the style of 100 Thieves here, where 100 Thieves are really slow defaulting. Shanks is going to have a field day with the operator if he can get into his hands again. Obviously, everyone dies, so money is not looking great, and it really hasn't looked great for either team so far in this game. Odin now coming up to play as well. So 100 Thieves, let's see if they can get more momentum off that, because they're 2 rounds away now from catching up.
Heavy commit to try to gain control of C Garage, but the blast pack has been a little annoying, I have to imagine, for Android, who's going to curveball and try to retake. Did he actually see that Asuna was playing through this dark cover initially? He's regained control, though, so for NRG, it's been an expensive kind of set of utility being used, but the defense still holding on to it everywhere that they want to.
NRG don't need to do anything too special here. 100 Thieves are going to play this one slowly enough that NRG backing out as much as they are, losing as much space as they are. Usually this would get punished by another team making more aggressive pushes in. You know, at this point, NRG are kind of blind. They have Suez control a little bit here, looking over towards C as well. I don't think it spotted Ethan, so NRG are really working off no info. But 100 Thieves are also not taking space, so it's a stalemate here that actually works out for NRG because 100 Thieves haven't really moved, and that's going to be a camera misplaced by Steel, which is not ideal.
I mean, you don't have an extra 14 seconds to wait. So as the spike gets picked up, it's going to have to be just a gut check execution call to C, in which, again, you have to remember they need to re-clear Garage thanks to that early pressure from Android after everything was all said and done. Aftershock is also spent. It's a lot of post-plant tools that are now off the table for 100 Thieves. They will successfully get the plant, or will they? Hunter's Fury tags the first, stalls things out. The second attempt for the plant now coming through. Shanks is on the way. He misses the right click, and Nitro and Hiko are able to gain enough space to get the spike planted. Oh, NRG were just trying to play the clock, but it turns against them, and now they're in a 2v5.
That right-click miss can have serious implications here. It has some very dire consequences because NRG are probably not going to win this round. Android will try his best, run it back, instantly gets punished. Dabs can't get anything done towards window either, and here it is. Nitro with a 3K. Shuts down the last hopes of NRG on that round. And when I say dire consequences, I'm talking about the flow-on effect from that particular round of not winning it for NRG means no money for this round, which means they're going to have to eco, which means 100 Thieves have actually caught up now. This should be 9 on the board guaranteed. We got 9 in Knights, 5 in a row for 100 Thieves. Now, if Shanks lands that right click, stops that plant coming through, there's no more time to plant. They win that round by default. They don't have to go for any other plays. They keep their guns moving. Their economy is safe. Different story. NRG goes to 10, might even confirm 11, and we're into a very different half indeed.
I mean, it's been a really tight affair. I mean, we came out of that first half with what appeared to be, at first glance, a very favorable NRG scoreboard, but a lot of those rounds were really close. And ooh, Android actually catches a headshot through the C garage door, so he will have to back up and decide if he wants to just self-sustain himself off of the hot hands or Blaze Wall, or maybe even both, considering he was down to 23 HP.
2 ultimates up for 100 Thieves as well. Massive weapon advantage. Shanks has a Phantom and is the only member on this team that really has much to play with. 4 Sheriffs. So now look, we've seen Sheriffs come out big. We've seen Sheriffs make some real damage happen, but NRG would have to create those brilliant moments, stacking heavily over towards, or leaning C, stacking heavily over towards C Garage. Near the window, hoping 100 Thieves could come close to B, but I think 100 Thieves will be too smart for that one. They know versus Pistols, going B is probably a bad idea. Just checking there's no aggression coming through on C. They'll be leaning back over towards A, and NRG, again, just don't have info to play with. They're going to dart over towards B grass. Nothing. That doesn't really tell NRG much. They see a couple more members coming through from C, and that probably baits NRG to maybe stick around, see if they fall for it, which they don't look like they are. They're going to go.
Oh, but Asuna, he gets the diving through the B-Link. Lines up a double headshot. Nitro with the spike plant. 2v5 situation. Little good luck, have fun here for NRG, as they need to make a decision as far as how they want to try to get some exit kills here or just eliminations in general, because like you mentioned, 100 Thieves, if they can walk away with this flawlessly, they would be in a really good spot economically, and with the hero rifle still in play for EU, looks like that will be enough for him to likely back out and just save at this point. Just down to Sam to make something interesting happen. Not going to happen. EU is caught, like you mentioned. The flash play, EU for the first, needs to find more than that and just simply runs out of ammunition. So 100 Thieves will take him down. They tie this game up at 9.
I think if EU really wanted to save the rifle, he shouldn't have even gone to heaven. He should have just stayed over towards C, stayed in spawn, played very safe, not have attempted anything. To be fair, it's not the biggest loss. They can rebuy anyway, so, you know, perhaps trying to take away some guns from 100 Thieves could be worth it, but they're 5 rounds in a row, and big difference here, Shift, from what we saw previously is that 100 Thieves are not just winning by the seat of their pants. They're not just winning by the one player now. It's not a 1v1 they're winning by. They're winning convincingly enough that they built up a fair economy, and that's the biggest difference between, I think, of this half and the previous. And being at 9-9 now with a massive economy advantage puts a lot of pressure onto NRG, who are basically have to win here. Showstopper coming through, does miss, not a Rose ult because it was dashed away.
But at the same point, is that opening commitment for NRG going to maybe possibly lead to a demise here? Because simply put, 100 Thieves are in a great position to still put a lot of pressure down. Hot Hands is here, also not considering how he wants to use these paint shells, and you're going to get a really nice flash into the mix as well. Good shock dart placement from EU. Ethan will see that there is information down low, caught with the curveball out of his hand. Great, but he stays alive. Ethan's able to find the first kill. EU desperately trying to hold on, but it's also not able to find 2 kills. And with that, NRG have been bounced out of the A site, allowing Nitro plant.
And they got to save. NRG shouldn't go for this. It's 2v4. There's a Rolling Thunder as well. I mean, if they go for this, they might be able to force out the Rolling Thunder. They kill Nitro, which is actually even better, but the tag onto Sam via the cam is definitely annoying. With this kind of 2v3 and low HP on Asuna, I think they've actually got a reasonable position now, but know that if they lose, their economy's really screwed.
2v2 all of a sudden, and Daps is making a play forward. They know exactly where Skill is playing. Daps good for the first, 30 HP. Shock dart, ooh, just barely dashed away from. Spy cam will come out. Gets the tag, tries to make the play, but Hiko denies. And 100 Thieves take the lead for the first time in a minute. 10-9 up.
And this is the 1v1 again, except this time 100 Thieves will actually win it. And looking at the fact that the rifles are gone, so this will 100% have to be an NRG save now. Be giving 11 away to 100 Thieves and hoping to be able to make, which is crazy to say, but their own comeback now in terms of they'll be 2 behind. They can definitely still force the overtime. It's very likely that 100 Thieves get 12 eventually here. I don't want to curse 100 Thieves, but I don't see them kind of not getting to 12 here. I'm not convinced they'll necessarily make 13 comfortably just yet, but 12 should be on the board. And if you can get 12, I think the 13 shouldn't be that far away.
A win condition has absolutely been established, and I think just retrospectively, looking back at that first half, I mean, how close were 100 Thieves on, what, 4, 5, maybe even 6 total rounds? I mean, that goes 1 extra kill on those post-plant takes for 100 Thieves could have been that this map may already have been over. So NRG just barely hanging on, and now an opportunity in front of them to try to tie things up. But it would be a pretty incredible one, you feel like, considering the arsenal disadvantage that they're in. But Android with the judge is going to be trusted to try to lock down this first point of entry. And EU has already done some great stuff with the Sheriff. He's going to likely find some information off this recon bolt, even though it doesn't actually ping the area. I think he hears at least 2 sets of gunfire that there are players nearby.
I mean, they know it's not C, so at this point, I'm not too sure why NRG is still stacking so hard where they are. They don't have any information anywhere else. It can't be a C split because nothing's in garage. Just walking through B now, they know it's definitely not there. 100 Thieves are respecting NRG enough to even throw in the Hunters, well, not the Hunters, really, the Rolling Thunder, and this should result in a plant. EU needs to land a lot of damage on shocks.
Oh, he does find a lot off the first, but it's still Ethan that gets first blood and then puts himself right back on for the plant. The judge play will be good, and the spike planter does get killed. It does not fully get planted. So now it's a 3v2, and Daps at long range finds the kill into Hiko. Just down to Steel, and he's behind this entire play. He's going to have to go and go quickly, or NRG will tie this up off of a Thrifty. No more time to plant. Has to play for the kills and won't even be able to do that. EU shuts it up, and NRG on a Thrifty tie things at 10.
And this wasn't meant to be the round that NRG is supposed to win. They were supposed to lose this one. Allow 100 Thieves to go to 11, and then they come back after that. Maybe get 10 to 11, then get 11 to 11. Then we'll see what happens beyond that point in time. But EU holding on, doesn't die for the longest time as well. Shock's coming through. Like, yeah, the Shock doesn't get a kill. The Shock doesn't even necessarily do enough damage, but it stops the plant, it slows the plant, and just slowing the plant down allows NRG, with no holds barred, get themselves on towards A. They know they don't have the guns anyway, so they're just gonna rush themselves in the retake, and it works. They get the kills, they stop the plant, and Steel is left out in the cold. And now this is NRG with the ability to make a living themselves first and foremost before 100 Thieves can get there. There's still money on both sides, still an operator for Shanks as well.
Quick hit for 100 Thieves through C, and just as the dark cover was falling, a beautiful flashpoint comes in to allow Asuna to find the first blood on the take of the C site. You have Steel lurking through grass, does not see his counterpart in Daps initially, but tries to turn his aim to him. Not going to be good for the kill. So 4v4 we go, but a post-plant setup in favor of 100 Thieves.
That's actually a huge read from Daps as well. I think a lot of teams have now wisened up to the fact that you do have a lurk coming through, but never mind that Android with a runner back will get two. So far looking pretty good. Just enough time to spot the third. Can't quite get the kill to Nitro. Tagged by a drone as well. He's been revealed.
Good flash.
So far, no one's really coming in.
Flash will allow him to get Shanks, though. 3v2 situation. Android fighting his third elimination just down to Hiko. Still has an owl drone to play with. Sees that nobody's on the spike for now. Needs to keep his life. Finds the first kill. Gets the second. This would be a 1v3 for Hiko, but Android finds the fourth kill. Time. A problem. Does he still have it? No, he does not. Hiko clutches things up, and 100 Thieves find themselves on 11.
It was that last hot hands from Android that did it, just pulling it out, trying to get the kill onto Hiko, trying to get the damage onto Hiko, and then, oh, he just barely doesn't do it, just barely doesn't get the stick. I mean, he had to obviously shoot Hiko as well, so the couple of things there. It was initially looking really good for NRG. I mean, you have a situation where, again, Daps gets the read onto Steel. I think a lot of teams now are starting to read the fact that, yeah, Steel's going to lurk over towards mid. He's going to be lurking around a lot, so Daps tries to find the 1v1, pretty successful, looking number-wise fairly decent for NRG, but that massive, massive clutch play coming through from Hiko gives 100 Thieves another chance.
Oh, and now EU aggressive with a Hunter's Fury. The rest of his teammates pushing right through mid-grass. Shanks has made his way into the window. Android watching over towards the boxes. And you still have a player in Daps that's denying any push through a mid, and oh my goodness, 2 quick kills, and NRG say, job done. Let's just play the rest of this round out 5v3.
Asuna has to go big here. Showstopper at the ready. Doesn't know that EU's around the corner. Has to check it, and we'll lose the duel. That is going to be pretty awful for 100 Thieves. It will at least get traded by Steel, and here comes a Silver play. Easy shot from Daps. Gets a free upgrade. Spike on the floor, and now Steel in a ton of trouble.
Has to commit to a 1v1, otherwise he'll be overwhelmed from behind. Oh boy. We saw aggression from 100 Thieves in the prior round. NRG say, bet, let's go our own route. Early Hunter's Fury clears space. Map take it away, and NRG convert. Now it's tied 11-11, and 100 Thieves are not in a comfortable space economically.
And this is NRG potentially on the victory path now. They just have to not throw away this round. I'll give a thrifty away to 100 Thieves. Be very clear about what 100 Thieves could do. Now, 100 Thieves haven't sped up a lot. They could speed up on this particular pistol. And actually, you have to be ready for that. Asuna can go large. That's what 100 Thieves need. They have the ultimates to play through. So all 100 Team need here is a couple of rifle upgrades on a couple of decent trades. And the ultimates could carry them through.
And take a look at this. 100 Thieves will be stacking over towards mid. NRG had an early clear, though, of A long. 3 players stacked that direction. And with a little bit of aggression through C, they should know that this play is online. Showstopper denied. Sam finds a second. He stabs to a third. How about a fourth? No. Ethan able to keep this play alive for 100 Thieves, but at what cost? Daps now from behind. EU from the side. Easy shots there, and NRG cleanly get the retake. Oh my goodness, what an opening play, though, from Sam.
Yeah, just keeping the nerves calm there as well for NRG. Okay, we've lost B control. That's fine. Let's push into the showstopper. I think that's something that raised players are not prepared for. The showstopper comes through. You're not expecting someone to just run at you like that. And that is the exact counterplay you need to see versus the showstopper. You can see it here again. Into the smoke. Sam's already there. Dives straight in at minimum here. Even if Asuna kills Sam, Asuna kills himself, and then Sam obviously collects the next 2 kills. Plant does come on through. Ethan trades for 1. Can't get a rifle upgrade. And map point secured by NRG now. A big round for 100 Thieves. Definitely still winnable. 3 ultimates online, but I think NRG potentially have this one off the back of a opening kill from Shanks would probably be it if someone like Steel does peek him. Steel does like to go over towards A.
He's thinking about it, but drops the trap wire at the entrance to the A lobby. Asuna has been putting a lot of pressure through C Garage. This time it's not Android that's holding it. It's going to instead be EU. Sam, lots of pressure in his face, but Daps is a part of this play all of a sudden. Stays alive through the curveballs and flashpoints that are coming into play. Now it's down to, can NRG actually hold this? Another flashpoint in the mix. The reveal comes out, but oh no, Daps is fully flashed up. Pico getting the Hunter's Fury in for an elimination. It's a 4v3. Run it back in play for Android. Not going to find much, but does clear space for EU to make sure that the C site stays safe. And 100 Thieves had to reconsider with 50 seconds to play.
Yeah, and as the dust settles here as well, 100 Thieves will back on out, and the fallout of that play means that both teams are down to just 3. But it's low HP here for EU, and that could actually make the difference. You also have Shank still kind of holding over towards A. They're not too sure. The good thing for 100 Thieves here is they can play the timer here a little bit, allow NRG to rotate out, and that's exactly what's happening. NRG have no information, and 100 Thieves, the Gambit, ends up being correct. The dart will reveal nothing. The plant will come on through, and it will have to come down to a retake.
The two duelists for NRG quickly making their way over. Nitro just has one fault line. Blades are out for Shanks. Can he make a play to try to save this? Take a 13-11. Fault line stalls the hit. Recon Bolt, as you mentioned, came through. Nitro sees a bit of information, but wants to play off the intel onto this Sova player, but it shakes over the top for one. EU considers hitting for the defusal. Eco, he finds one elimination. Steal the backside, lines up the following 2, and we've got overtime. 100 Thieves, they bait the rotation, they play the timing, and this one's not done yet.
We started this map 4 and 8, with 8 being NRG's score, and it would require 100 Thieves to do a pretty monstrous comeback, and that requires them to get 8 on their half as well. They get 6 in a row from that second round in the half, and then look at this round as well. Coming down to a 3v3, I thought NRG did a great job of holding on to site there, preventing the initial plant. But then as the dust settles, as was said, when we look at the time, there's still just enough time for 100 Thieves to maybe bait out the fact and gamble the fact that, hey, they might think we're rotating here. Let's go completely quiet, just hide in garage. As long as no one checks here, we're fine. NRG go over towards A, the plant is free, and the post plant is even better. The retake not good enough. Into the OT we go. Everyone's got money, and this has been close enough that it's hard to call.
You're not going to catch me trying to make a prediction ever, I'll tell you that much. I'm just along for the ride, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. It will be NRG on the offense here. A lot of team shots were thrown Ethan's direction. Tags him up a little bit, but now Steel has rotated into assist, and he will respond with some damage of his own. So once again, NRG, kind of the same setup that we saw from the first offenses. Throw out dark cover, throw a little bit of utility, see if you can maybe sway 100 Thieves to stay responsible and honest for C, and they've done that successfully. Now the wrap as they try to make a decision towards B or A.
They have to start remembering as well, NRG, that is how they got those offensive rounds. Again, 8 rounds there that they got on their initial attacking half. A lot of it going through A, and if you're 100 Thieves, honestly, you don't want to be baited into overstacking C again, but that does seem like it's what's happening so far. Sooner sees nothing. Camera's just going to check over towards a main. Still 40 seconds, and NRG aren't sure. I think NRG believe that there's 100 Thieves are stacking A. They've kind of read this one incorrectly. They've made some plays over towards C. They made minimal plays on towards A, and now that there's not enough time left, do they just go B?
They're running over, looks to be towards a C hit. This is a difficult gamble stack that you have to kind of get through. Nice paranoia that stalls things down. 15 seconds on the clock. The hit now underway. Ethan caught in a million different types of smoke fall. Down to 10 seconds to go. Steal for 2 has kept this site opened up, at least for now. Down to 5. Spike will plant, and Daps is lurking. If he overpeaks here, though, it could be problematic, and Nitro, he finds one elimination, the flashpoint out, but EU avoids it. Turns, finds his 3rd kill, and NRG, the first one to break the blood here in the overtime.
This is so tense. I mean, that came down to seconds at the end of the day as well. NRG wasn't sure where they were going to go. They head back towards C, which is what 100 Thieves want, because they were triple stacking C. Ethan in a great position there as well. Beautiful paranoia going directly into garage, which really slows things down. And even while flashed up, Shank's got a kill there. Goes 1 for 1. Which ends up being huge. Android swings as well. EO cleans up 3 kills overall. You also had the late lurk by Daps, and at the end of the day, if that went any further, you had the Hunter's Fury built up. You could have played the ultimate. That was a big round for NRG, and now map point once again found.
Shanks has put himself onto an operator. I believe I did hear him take a shot as well. It's Steel who, as you mentioned in the prior half, is going to be lurking this direction, and Shanks is hoping that he finds some timing here, but he could very quickly be overwhelmed. You mentioned he's so far up, a tailwind might not be enough to get him out of danger if he misses the first shot.
No, he would have to try and smoke and dash away, but I don't know the smoke is going to come out fast enough.
He gets the operator.
Oh, that's true. He's really screwed then.
Oh, now he's stuck in a corner. Oh my goodness, Shanks, how are you alive? I mean, lucky to be alive. Down to 25 HP, was caught between a rock and another rock, it felt like. And now 100 Thieves know they've pushed the operator back, and they look like they want to go A.
He only survives because Steel activated the cage. So he uses the cage from Steel to get out. He's on 25 HP. Steel's kicking himself right now. He's like, dude, that would have been a free kill. Should have been a free kill. They really wanted. Now the operator being still in there. If he gets one kill in the op, it's massive.
Asuna will blast pack forward, takes out the position towards Hell. Spike will be planted. Up top, got EU trying to keep his life, but Hiko somehow, some way finds a headshot, giving numbers to 100 Thieves, trying to respond with an offense of their own. For NRG's retake, 3 members from the front, Daps a long play through A, in which there's a trap wire that'll stall his hit, so you have to really focus on what's coming from the front. Android, first one forward. Oh my goodness, the flash is brilliant. Finds 2 for free. Thumb now here to help, but it's Nitro and Steel locking things up. Shanks on the high ground, no chance with the operator, and we're going into a second set of overtime, tied at 13.
26 so far. Both of our OT rounds came down to pretty massive plays, I think, from the Sova players. Both will be earning a Hunter's Fury, but the number of players still alive there. Look, let's be honest. Som plus Android on that Paranoia and swing play was massive. Getting those 2 kills could have made the difference there, but the rest of 100 Thieves holding strong. Nitro really pulling out the big guns, as is Hiko. Shanks was too low as it was. Needed to find 1 kill in the operator. Doesn't do so. I did say, if he finds a kill in the operator on 25 HP, it's huge, but he couldn't do that. Now it comes down to another, I was going to say another A hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if it would actually go A, but they're going to start C, just kind of bait 100 Thieves to commit onto C to start with, and then eventually hit over to A, but with EU down, the hit's going to be rough. You don't have any recon now.
That's the first time I think we've seen Ethan play on top of the C site like that, completely catching NRG unaware. Steel sees a couple weapons, just taking some spam shots. He's going to have some help. As Nitro, but this Android, he finds himself 2. Hiko on the way in, only good for 1. And NRG will rotate through B to a wide open A site in this 2v2.
Ethan's blown his flash as well. I just saw the Paranoia fly into B. They have to know it's not a plant at this stage in the game. On the long flank coming is Asuna. Camera is been destroyed, I believe. I'm not too sure. The camera's gone for what it's worth, so they should have some information of flanks coming. I mean, yeah, look at this. Som definitely knows something. He's, by the way, still got a Paranoia available. That could be the huge difference maker here. 1 good Paranoia from Som could be a game winner. It's going to come down to, I think, the 1v1 between both sides. There's 2 back-to-back 1v1s here.
Well, you got to keep in mind that the plant will actually allow Daps to see this from up top in heaven in case Som does fall. Dark cover in the play. And Som is thinking that it's still coming through A. Now up top, there's that free angle that we were mentioning. Dark cover will keep them safe. Into the smoke. Som, he gets taken down. Daps, oh, he can't do anything from the post plant setup in heaven. And with the kill from Ethan, 100 Thieves will break the offensive juggernaut and put themselves up 14-13.
I think Som held on to Paranoia there. I didn't see it come on through. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Som held on to Paranoia. So he doesn't end up using it. And the 1 smoke that came off cooldown for Ethan is enough. They smoke the spike. There is no Paranoia, no swing in time coming through from Som. He played that very defensively, very conservatively. And he has to run into the smoke, and he gets punished. Now, look, to be honest with you, if he tries to flash the smoke, the near sight probably isn't going to be enough anyway, and he probably still dies. But there was a very small window there where he can get the kill into Asuna. It doesn't happen, and 100 Thieves clutch out massively in that 2v2. Now they've secured the match point. Android potentially in trouble. He's down.
What a read that is from 100 Thieves. The flashpoint as Android was trying to sneak his way into B mid results in a very early first blood. And NRG are just going to full commit. They're going all in on this play through mid. Sitting there and thinking, no way 100 Thieves checks this twice, right? Well, we'll find out here shortly. Asuna is paying some very minded attention towards this B window. And a recon bolt will also be spent. Som stays concealed from it, though. So still an opportunity for NRG maybe to find an advantage mid-map.
The problem is, I don't think 100 Thieves are going to play mid. I mean, maybe one player looks to check. Someone's actually got to go through window. He might see the spike as well. He might have a timing. Asuda's probably dead. Certainly is. Now he's got to get away. Close by is Hiko. Hiko could trade this one. Hiko's going to go for the drone. He's not going to swing. The tag is going to be good on the tracking dot, but they can't confirm the kill. And off that, NRG pull back 1 kill. Less than 40 seconds now. 100 Thieves haven't made any moves towards either A or C. There was a window there for NRG, for other 100 Thieves to make something happen on A and C, because NRG was stacking hard B, and now that NRG are back into defaults, 100 Thieves are out of time. They gotta go.
Can they block off this angle from Shanks, though? The answer, no. Keeps it completely open, and Shanks is able to capitalize. EU, shock dart right in front of his face, and Steel will find the kill even though he's tagged down. Spike does get planted. Now it's down to the retake attempt. Sam is good for not just one, but two, and Daps cleans things up. We initially go offense for offense. How about a little bit of defense for defense? We're tied up again at 14.
I'm gonna be honest, we had a long break before we got into this game, something like 10 minutes waiting for Ethan to get in the server. Now that we've started, I mean, have we started 30 rounds of 100 Thieves versus NRG on the table? Is that what you ordered today? Because here it is, have a double serving of it. It's a lot to play for here. This opening map has been fireworks. 4-8 start for 100 Thieves that they had to bring back on that second half. And now we've got into, what is it, triple overtime now? It's getting ridiculous.
Unreal. I mean, it's not even worth talking about the KDs because they're all incredible. I mean, the only thing you can really say is that Shanks on this solo jet has maybe not had the impact that we were hoping for, in the fact that he has not had the operator much, and the fact that he's going completely unopposed when it comes to the jet v jet battle. But take from that what you will. I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. NRG back onto the offense, and once again, where do you think they're going to go? A lot of their success has been to A, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I suppose.
And it's a very defensive hold. I mean, look at where the trap wires are for Steel. They're so far back, and he's even got one over towards Link. Again, it's, to me, at least slightly unusual. Steel probably knows what it's really there for, but I don't really expect NRG to maybe go that way. And now Steel's like, yep, they're all here. I'm just going to have to wait for this one. Oh my god, he read that. Shanks was going to go for that.
You want to talk about defensive trap wires? That's why it's there, apparently. Android is allowed still to get the spike planted, so NRG are setting up their post plan in this 4v5. 100 Thieves are going to be full hitting this from the front, and Steel's found a second elimination. Eco clearing space with the Al drone. Sees a player down low. That's Sam. Absolutely stall things out the paranoia, but Steel finds his third elimination. Could he possibly just do it all himself? Might need to. EU and Sam find a couple of kills. Sam, are you good for more? Yes, he is, but would not been too much of a problem as 100 Thieves full execute, and they put themselves on 15 first.
EU beefs his recon dart. That was really awful to see, but what is in fact great to see is what Steel did with the trap wire towards this box you can see on the left here where the plant happened. Now, to be clear, I wasn't questioning that trap wire. That trap wire is absolutely fine. We know why that's there. The one that I was questioning was the one over towards a Link, because I think it would be a little bit unusual for NRG to maybe go that way. But look, Steel getting the kill onto Shanks, stopping the plant, and just being a total nuisance there in a situation where he was like 1v5, and I was thinking, okay, just stay alive. He doesn't need to do anything here. Just make sure he doesn't die, let the retake happen, and then we're cool. But he gets better than that. He gets a 1 kill straight away into the 5v4.
NRG again going to put Shanks on this operator. That's all he'll bring to battle. No utility whatsoever, and they'll free him up this time to play through a sewer. No contestants, at least initially, as 100 Thieves have all 5 members leaning towards the C side of the map. And how about it? NRG have freed the operator to get into A, and the other defenders will just make their way over to try to stack towards this left side of the minimap.
Massive cam from Daps as well. He knows it's going to be a cage. That doesn't mean anything. No one's pushed the cage at all. They don't even know the camera's there in terms of what 100 Thieves are doing. They can keep membership over towards C for now. Because you have Shanks looking over towards A, they know it's definitely not going to be over towards A. They've seen, by the way, the cage come up, so they know that probably Steel's lurking towards mid as well. Camera versus camera, and this is what NRG wants. They're stacking heavily on towards C, and here comes 100 Thieves.
Have to find a way to cleanly break this if you're 100T. Boombot gets denied. EU holding onto a recon bolt. Paranoia comes out, but the recon bolt will also be into play. Finding some information. Sam trying to spam through the C garage alley, but it's Ethan who finds first blood. EU with the shock dart, though. Android one more. Tilting in favor of the NRG defense, and Daps takes down the spike carrier. Not done yet. Hiko's still alive, will fall. All rests on the shoulders of Steel, where eventually that camera will scout him out, trying to play forward, nowhere to go. And we're going to continue forward. 15-15 the tally.
32 rounds, quadruple overtime engaged.
Overtime.
Ethan, how about this for a debut? Is this what you expected on your debut match, Ethan? It's 32 rounds of Valorant here. I mean, this is like more Valorant than he's played in scrims, probably. No, I'm joking. He's obviously scrimmed a little bit, but Ethan hasn't been on the team for very long. He's got a decent number of kills. I mean, everyone's above 20 now except for Daps and Shank. Shank's actually surprisingly maybe a little too far down there, but Som's been pretty massive at 32. He's 10 above Nitro. And to go quadruple overtime here, and it's been decent trades as well. I don't even think it comes down to like who's favored on what now, because we've seen teams win on both offense and defense. Probably a little bit more offensive wins from NRG overall, but even that's been contested.
Quick hit. NRG on the way forward. 100 Thieves are going to give up a little bit of the site and then have to play for a bit of a retake. Keep in mind that you still have one player lurking through the middle of the map as Daps could potentially get behind this play. All 5 members survive for both sides. As the plant comes down, Hiko's going to see for early information. And even with it, though, there's not a lot of opportunity to capitalize on it. So now 100 Thieves will be tested truly on this retake. More great utility, though, still coming out. As Hiko's able to find some damage with a shock dart. And Daps is lurk through mid. You can see 100 Thieves are looking for him. They know that he's got to be playing on the backside. And meanwhile, Hiko gets a shock dart through. Daps, though, has stayed concealed. And he's on his way forward, but 100 Thieves is already on the site. Steel putting pressure through C long. Finds himself a kill. Knows there's another one around the corner. Taking some spam shots, but has to fall back for the reload. EU with the exchange, but no! And meanwhile, the spike gets defused. And 100 Thieves survive with 4 and go up 16-15.
Steel played that excellently. He stops the NRG post plant from really having any value because, I mean, look, it's a good post plant in terms of having 3 over towards long. They can easily spam the plant. It's a god plant as well, right next to the box, right at the back of sight. You have Daps coming in from a long flank, but Daps is so slow. Initially, it looks like Daps is getting high. Daps is getting a lot of value because he's slowing down the retake. He's forcing a lot of members from 100 Thieves to look for him, and that's just wasting time. 100 Thieves are wasting a ton of time chasing down Daps. They need to get the retake going. Steel on his flank, far more successful. Gets a kill, slows down the post plant for getting any damage, and into the next round now. Shanks is in trouble, might even go down as soon as gets killed.
Same setup, though, for NRG. They keep Android with him just to be sure he doesn't get pressured, and boy, does it pay off in a major way. NRG with an early first blood, and 100 Thieves, I think, recognize that, okay, operator. We also know that the Phoenix is over towards A, and I think they even read a little bit of information that the Sova's there as well. So they'll quickly rotate over towards a C hit, of which there are no defensive NRG players in the site, and Ethan will get a free plant. This is still a very doable 4v5 post-plant setup.
Super open, though. I don't know if C Long could necessarily see it. They're not going to play it there. Steel's actually hidden behind the box into the back of sight. NRG have a player advantage. Can they use it effectively? Here comes Paranoia. It will be countered by the Aftershock of Nitro as well. But with Ethan down, it's now down to a 3v5.
Android's able to find the next kill. Flashpoint on the way through. Keeps Nitro alive. He finds 2, not a third, though. Hiko, can he potentially save the day? Sure, why not? And 100 Thieves clean up the NRG retake. It takes us 32 rounds, but 100 Thieves strike first.
32 rounds. 100 Thieves come in and says, Dormammu, I've come to bargain, and it takes a long time.